as part of your business planning process, you're going to need to do some risk mitigation. After all, what you're not looking for is to say grow £2 million and then it just to disappear overnight. And what your partners are going to be looking for is that your plan is sustainable and robust. What this means is doing risk mitigation. So the first thing you want to look at is your critical success factors. So go back to your assumptions, go back to what you put in your plan. What needs to happen and is critical for you to achieve that? And that's often about, I need extra resource, or I need to reduce my chargeable time to have the time to do this. Remember that as part of your, the things you're balancing is your time to be billable, your time to manage others, your time to win work. And if your chargeable time targets are too high, it's going to be really difficult to do the other two. So go in and identify those critical success factors. If you've done a stage model, that will be part of what you've already done. Now, the next thing to do is identify your risks. And at this point, you want to brainstorm all the risks you can think of to achieving that. So it could be, the one that's on the top of everybody's mind that wasn't there 3 years ago was, well, late 2019 was a pandemic. So okay, that's a big one, but actually we're a lot better at mitigating the risks of that one now. But people will often think about, well, what happens if the markets crash, or if this person resigns, or what are all the things? What happens if I get ill? As a business owner of my own business, we have got to think about if that, the proverbial bus hit me, and what happens if I was out of the business. So you want to think about your risks. You then want to look at your risks in two ways. What are the medium to high level impact risks? These are the ones you want to know about. Another pandemic hitting us is a medium to high level risk. Another risk could be that the lease runs out and we haven't got someone to move our office to. You might not need to be concerned about that. That's a low impact risk, but having an idea. Then you want to look at those medium to high level risks and actually look at which ones have a medium to high level of happening. So which ones have a medium to high level of happening? So what I often see is that often people have over-reliance on one or two big clients. It's really common for me to see that, for partners to notice it. That will be part of any kind of business case discussion. How are you going to remove your over-reliance on this client? What happened if they went bust? What happened if they stopped working with us? This is a fairly typical risk. And, very often when I've helped people with their business planning, part of that risk mitigation is the strategy is to get not just one that bills over this much, to get 5 that bills over this much. Even within my own business, I have a strategy to minimize the risk of one client going, sorry, we're not going to run that program next year. So this is what you need to do in that risk mitigation. And this is going to form part of your business plan, because there will be some sensible steps that you need to take, and they will be part of your action planning. It isn't just enough to go, this is how I'm going to grow the business with the least amount of effort for the greatest amount of profit. Remember, that's what we're looking to do. It is about actually what could stop us getting there. What could put to use the very British phrase, to put a spoke in the wheel that could bring ours to a grounding halt, and how do we mitigate that? Because that may change our plan.